Don't waste your time. Ethan was a 25 years old man with big dreams. He wanted to start his own business, travel the world, and make a difference. But there was one problem: he never took action. Instead, he spent his days scrolling through social media, watching TV, and making excuses. Tomorrow I'll start, he always told himself, but tomorrow never came. One afternoon, Ethan was walking through the park when he ran into Mr. Dawson, his old college professor. The elderly man was sitting on a bench, flipping through a small notebook. "Ethan, long time to see," Mr. Dawson said with a warm smile. "Professor Dawson, it's been years. How have you been?" Ethan asked, sitting beside him. "I'm doing well, retired now, but still enjoying life." Ethan sighed. "I wish I could say the same. I feel stuck. I have so many dreams, but I keep putting things off. I always think I have time, but nothing changes." Mr. Dawson nodded thoughtfully. "Come with me," he said, standing up. The hourglass lesson. Curious, Ethan followed him to a small cafe nearby. Mr. Dawson pulled an hourglass from his bag and placed it on the table. "Watch this," he said, flipping the hourglass over. The sand began trickling down. Ethan stared at it, confused. "What does this mean?" "This sand represents your life. The grains at the top are the time you have left, and the grains at the bottom are the time you have already spent." Ethan nodded. Mr. Dawson continued, "Notice how the sand keeps falling. You can't stop it, slow it down, or reverse it. Every second that passes is a second you will never get back. That's how life works, Ethan." Ethan swallowed hard. He had never thought about time like that before. Most people waste their sand thinking they have plenty left, but one day they look down and realize there's barely any left. Ethan shifted in his seat. "So, what should I do?" Mr. Dawson smiled. "Use your sand wisely. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It does not exist. The only time you have is now." That night, Ethan lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. He thought about all the time he had wasted: hours on social media, years in a job he did not love, endless procrastination. He grabbed a notebook and wrote down everything he wanted to do: start a business, travel, learn a new skill, get in shape. The next morning, for the first time in years, he woke up with a sense of urgency. Instead of reaching for his phone, he opened his laptop and started researching business ideas. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Ethan worked hard, made sacrifices, and stayed committed. He launched his own company, started traveling, and even gave motivational talks to help others who were stuck like he once was. Years later, Ethan met Mr. Dawson again. This time, Ethan was a successful entrepreneur. "You did it," Mr. Dawson said, proud. Ethan smiled. "Thank you. Thank to you. I stopped wasting my sand." Mr. Dawson chuckled. "Good, because in the end, time is the one thing we can never get back." Moral of the story: don't waste your time. The clock is always ticking. Use every moment wisely.